Hello, my kin. My name is Kin Ping, but you can call me Kin. And today, I'm back with another tier list video. It feels like it's been a while, even though I don't actually think it has. Honestly, I can't remember. I think the Adeptosaurus one was the last one I did. I can't remember when I did that. But here I am with a Batman villain tier list. And this does not have as many pictures as all the other tier lists because I've decided this is just going to be a little quick one, hopefully, where I just talk about my favorite Batman villains and why I think certain Batman villains are way better than others. So yeah, that's kind of it. I chose this tier list here. I haven't seen anyone else really use this tier list. It's a smaller tier list made by this person here. So hopefully, you know, you guys can go and do this tier list. I'll leave a link to it in the description as well, so if you want to go do it for yourself. So this has just got like his main villains. This is basically his rogue gallery that everyone should know. There are characters like Firefly and Hugo Strange, which casual Batman fans probably wouldn't know, but then it's got all the Batman villains that everyone would know. So that's why I chose this one, because everyone knows them, so everyone can kind of, you know, find it interesting to watch this video, even if you're not a hardcore fan of the comics or something. So the first one is Poison Ivy, and Poison Ivy is one of those characters that I just don't care about. I don't know why, but I feel like her character just isn't as developed as a lot of other Batman villains. So many other Batman villains have such good motives and stories and connections to other characters, but Poison Ivy, just meh, especially after becoming Harley Quinn's girlfriend. I feel like she just hasn't really been her own character. She's kind of been a side character to Harley Quinn, because obviously Harley Quinn is way more popular. So Poison Ivy's just kind of meh, to be completely honest. I'm going to put her in there. I'm going to put her in the bottom tier. Then next we have the Riddler. I'm not sure what this photo is from. I think this photo is from a fan cast or something, but obviously it's the Riddler. Riddler's always been a pretty solid character. He's very like 60s Batman. He hasn't really properly evolved from the 60s. I mean, He is good, like in the Arkham games and stuff, he is a great character, but he is probably the most annoying character in those games because of his stupid trophies. But he's good. I think I'll put him in good because he doesn't have that level of depth that all the other characters, well, some of the other characters have, I don't think. So, yeah, I'll put him in good. He's a good villain, but he's not awesome because he isn't as 3D as all the others. I mean, sure, he's got lots of backstory and stuff. Well, not lots, but he's got backstory and like different sides to him and stuff, but it's just nowhere near as much as other characters. Then, Harley Quinn. Harley Quinn is a very good character, even though lots of people may not like her because she suddenly boomed in popularity after like the Suicide Squad and stuff. She is a really good character, and she does deserve a lot of the popularity she gets because she is pretty awesome. I'm not going to put her in the best though. She's really close to probably being best, but I've done this tier list before. I know I'm going to put these characters and I know why. She's just not on the best tier yet. Awesome is still like awesome. If a villain's in the awesome tier, they are a really, really good character. This tier here is just the best from that tier, basically. So this still means the top of the top. It's just these are like the best of the best. Next, Professor Pig. He's okay. He's kind of one of those villains that's got kind of like a gimmick. He's kind of like a one-trick pony. That's what I'm trying to say. He's never gonna be like the overall antagonist of a Batman story arc. You know, he's just there doing his thing, and that's what he does. So I'm gonna put him in average. I feel like since he's unique, there's more that makes him stand apart from people like Poison Ivy, because Poison Ivy, you know, if you want plant character, just go Swamp Thing, because Swamp Thing is, in my opinion, way more interesting than Poison Ivy. But Professor Pig, he's just, you know, he's got his thing. He's in the Arkham games. His mission in the Arkham games was really fun, and yeah, he's just doing his thing. I can respect that. Then we got Scarecrow. Scarecrow's probably one of the most well-known alongside like the Joker and Catwoman and Riddler and stuff. Scarecrow's cool. He is really cool. I used to like him a lot when I was younger. I thought his character was awesome, and especially in the Arkham games. I mean, I'm going to be bringing up the Arkham games a lot, but they actually did him so well, I feel. He's not awesome. because I don't think he's as good as character as Harley Quinn, but I think he's still at the top. I'd put him over the Riddler, I think, just because the fear toxin is such an iconic DC Comics thing. Like, you got the venom that Bane uses, and then the fear toxin that Scarecrow uses, then the laughing gas that the Joker uses. Those three things are so big in Batman pop culture, you know, though. Everyone should know those three things. Everyone. Even if you've just played the Lego games, you should know those three things. So that's why I'm putting him in good. Then we got Mr. Freeze. Mr. Freeze is highly overlooked. He is highly, highly overlooked. Especially because of that shitty Batman movie with you-know-who as Mr. Freeze. That did not give Mr. Freeze a good rep. Mr. Freeze is probably Batman's best villain. Because he's a real character. When I talk about Mr. Freeze, completely forget about the shitty New 52 version of him, though that New 52 comic book version of him is probably one of the worst characters I've ever seen. But when we talk about good old-fashioned Mr. Freeze, whose wife is stuck in ice with her, like, terminal cancer, and he wants to make the cure to save her any chance he can get, that is amazing. Mr. Freeze is such a good character, and once again, the Arkham games, the DLC mission in Gotham's Most Wanted for Arkham Knight, his mission is amazing. It just captures exactly what Mr. Freeze is. It does it so well. So that's why I'm putting Mr. Freeze in the best, because he is one of those characters that you can just feel for. Like, you can feel for why he does the actions that he does, because he wants to save the love of his life. He wants to get her out of the ice and so she can live a proper life with him, and he'll do anything for that. Anything. I mean, even he teams up with Batman sometimes, so he's not necessarily evil. He has this goal, which is completely understandable, and he just wants to get to that. And that is why I think he's such an amazing character. He's overlooked so much, and people give him a bad rep and stuff, but he is such a good character. He's awesome, guys. He really is. Then Catwoman. I feel really strange calling Catwoman a Batman villain. I mean, they nearly got married, you know, so technically she's not really a Batman villain. I'm not sure where to put her. She is a really, really, really good character, but I think I'm only going to put her in awesome because I personally don't feel as close or like care about Selena as much as I do Mr. Freeze. I mean, obviously Selena has just as much, well, she's got more backstory and more character development and everything than Mr. Freeze. Yeah, there's just something about Mr. Freeze that I would put over Selena. And obviously, Selena is like on the top of awesome, the verge of being the best, like I said about Harley Quinn, because she is a really good character. Then the Penguin, I think the Penguin is definitely allowed to go in this awesome tier. Not as high up as Harley Quinn and Selena, but he's definitely in that tier because he's just so iconic. And he's been done so well in so many different movies and games and everything. He's just a constant. Even though, like, lots of people could argue he's nowhere as interesting as, like, all these other characters, he is just such a solid character. And, you know, he's got his iceberg lounge, like, that's iconic. He's good. He's just really good. He's an awesome villain. You can't fault him, really, because he's just awesome. Next is Firefly. Firefly's okay. I've never really found Firefly that interesting. This is obviously him from the Arkham games. That's where I first heard about him. Then I did a little bit of research. He's kind of meh. Put him in meh. I don't blame people if you haven't heard him. I think he is slowly getting more and more popular, but he is nowhere near as popular as these other characters, and you know that's for good reason. He isn't as interesting as these other characters. Hugo Strange. Hugo Strange is a great character. In my opinion, I feel like he really got his boom in popularity thanks to the Arkham games. He was really good in those, and he is a good character, but he's not the awesome tier that these three are, because not as many people would know about Hugo Strange. He isn't as diverse as these other characters with what he can do and stuff. He's a good character, but he's not a constant, you know? Like, you could easily have a ton of Batman stories without Hugo Strange in them, but you couldn't have a ton of Batman stories without, like, these four characters in it, for example. Then Two-Face. Two-Face is another great character that I think is heavily overrated. He is just amazing because he's just so different from other villains, I think, because of his coin flipping, and that he used to be like Harvey Dent, like one of the best protectors of Gotham. Once again, he's underrated, but it's just that he has more character to him. It's like another character as his backstory, you know? It's like another whole character as his backstory, and that's really cool because it just shows Gotham's corruptness. Like, Two-Face is effectively a result of Gotham just being so corrupt, and he is Gotham's police force corrupted personified. You know, he is an example of that, and I think that's really cool. He's iconic for robbing banks and shit, even in the Lego games, so I think that's cool. Now, this is the Mad Hatter, and I think the Mad Hatter is really overrated. He is a pretty boring character. I never really get, well, why, like, DC takes a lot of stuff from Alice in Wonderland. The Mad Hatter is an okay character, but he's just the Mad Hatter. It's not that interesting when you think of all these other supervillains and stuff. They're their own characters, and then Mad Hatter's just the Mad Hatter. I mean, he can mind control people. Got a couple awesome missions in the Arkham games, but he's just kind of meh. Then we have Black Mask. I don't know much about Black Mask, but I think he's okay. I wouldn't put him as good as Riddler or Scarecrow. I know there's a lot of like fan fiction and stuff about him because of that Birds of Prey movie or something. But, you know, fan fiction's always pretty weird. But he is a cool character. I think just as his aesthetic and his abilities are just really, really cool. But, you know, he's just another mob boss. Obviously, there's probably way more to him that I don't know. But I don't think he is on the same league as a lot of these other Batman characters are. And then the Joker, the most iconic one of all. You know, you'd expect me to put him in best, but I'm going to put him in awesome. I think the Joker, obviously, he's a great character. He's so good. I don't know what the fuck they're doing in the comics, though, with all this 3 Joker nonsense. But, no, he is cool. I mean, yeah, do I really need to talk about the Joker? I'm pretty sure everyone should know about the Joker. I think the reason I'm not putting him in best is probably a little personal biased. Really good character, guys. Really good character. Man-Bat. Yeah, I put him in average. He's okay. Kind of a non-event, I personally think. I don't see the need for Man-Bat in any Batman stories. Yeah, he's a bit like Professor Pig. He's just doing his own thing. He'll pop up when he wants to, or when the writers need him to, so yeah, meh. Clayface. Clayface is a great character. I'm going to put him in awesome. And that is because he is double-sided, just like Two-Face and Mr. Freeze, but he's not quite at that level, I don't think. But Clayface is awesome because, you know, in the detective comics, he actually joins Batman. He fights alongside Batman because I think the writers finally understood that his backstory doesn't make a lot of sense. He was like a really famous actor, and then he got this stuff, and then something went bad, and blah, blah, blah. So I think him doing stuff for the good makes a lot of sense. And he is really cool. Like, his Clayface ability is really cool. You can morph into anyone. And it's actually embarrassing how many times I have been surprised about that. Like, oops, spoiler, but in the Arkham games, when the Joker is revealed to be Clayface, that got me so bad. But that was like right after reading a comic where that exact same thing happened. So Clayface has tricked me so many times because I think he's one of those characters a lot of people overlook, so the writers can easily like afford to have him in there instead of another character, and then everyone will be surprised when it happens. I think that's really cool. So yeah, he going in awesome. Okay, next is Killer Croc. Killer Croc is okay. I feel like his character is getting a lot more development with the Suicide Squad or something. He's got a relationship with Enchantress, and he now, in the comics, is becoming more of a main character. Well, not main character, but more of a developed character. However, I'm still going to put him in meh. His character for a long time has just been Big Crocodile. You know, it's kind of average. He's never really had much of another side to him. He's just been the monstrous rampager kind of guy, and though that might have changed now, he's still a pretty meh character. Now, I'm pretty sure this is Talia al Ghul. Could be Lady Shiva or something, but I'm pretty sure it's Talia, because why would it be Lady Shiva when it should be Talia? Because Talia is way more popular. So I'm just going to pretend it's Talia. Talia's okay. I feel like she gets a lot more credit and popularity because she's like Damian's mother and had a kid with Batman. But that isn't like her character, you know? So her character in itself meh. I'll put her an average because her character, it's okay. I think it's just her mediocre character is just overlooked by the fact that she had a relationship with Batman and had a kid with Batman. For example, going to Ra's al Ghul, he is way more of an interesting character than Talia like ever will be. Obviously, I'm going to keep her an average, and I'm going to put Ra's al Ghul in awesome, because Ra's al Ghul is amazing, dude. He is so cool. He's cool in anything he's in. He's got such a cool vibe about him, you know, how he calls Batman detective, and he trained Batman. I just really like Ra's al Ghul. You know when you get that like nostalgia sort of feeling whenever you like hear something or like smell something or see something? That's what I get from Ra's al Ghul. I get like nostalgia back to like when I was first getting into Batman, when I was like first getting into the DC universe, because Ra's al Ghul was like, oh, he's the biggest bad guy Batman's ever fought, but he was one of them that trained Batman, and he called Batman detective. It's just like old school Batman for me. I really like it. So yeah, he's going in awesome. Then Victor Zsasz, he's a meh character. That's not saying he's bad. He's just a serial killer. He's just a serial killer that likes making himself look cool with all his cuts on his body, which, you know, is cool, but compared to other characters, he's nowhere near as good. Deadshot, I'd say he's an average character. If this was like a ranking characters just in DC in general, then I might put him up a little bit, but since this is Batman villains and like his most iconic rogues, and he's competing against all of these guys, I don't think Deadshot can really hold his own. Not sure if I'd prefer Deathstroke. I'm not sure who I prefer between the two, but he's okay. Then Bane. I'm not even going to try and do a Bane voice because I can't do a Bane voice. I'm not that good. But Bane is a cool character. I'm going to put him in good. I think he's nearly on the verge of awesome because he is awesome. There's been lots of different versions of him, especially physically. He's looked so different in lots of different things, but he is a really cool character. I think there's a lot more to him than people see. You see on the base value, he's like a cult leader and he's strong and muscly and addicted to venom and shit. But then you actually look at his background and stuff, and he's cool, and like City of Bane did a really good job of showing the kind of character he actually is, because he is really intelligent as well. Like Dark Knight Rises shows that as well. He is really intelligent. He's not just strong. He is a really good character. I'm nearly like so close to putting him on this tier here. Anyway, that is all for this video. I hope you guys agreed with some of this. This was just me expressing who like my favorite Batman villains are and stuff. Two-Face and Mr. Freeze are my favorite. I do really like the two of them. I think they are highly underrated Batman villains and deserve a lot more attention and a lot more stories just about them. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Leave comments in the comment section about who you like, who's your favorite. Obviously lots of other Batman villains weren't on this list. Tell me where you think they might have been, and if you enjoyed, consider subscribing. My channel's really been popping off. Well, and for my channel, it has really been popping off and getting lots of more views and stuff, so it's been really fun. Anyway, I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye, my kin.